Hello and welcome. My name is Justin Fowler, and this is my presentation on a global social media initiative for nurses on a double pandemic. Metabolic syndrome is a collection of risk factors that alter the state of one's health. Due to its evident link with obesity, children and adults are being diagnosed with metabolic syndrome, which can manifest chronic disease states such as type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease. Metabolic syndrome is not only a public health problem just for the United States. Worldwide, there is an increase of childhood and adult obesity. Many children in the next generation will enter adulthood with chronic disease states. This is important to all of nursing. Nurses provide 80% of primary health care around the world. Nurses are at the front line of any healthcare crisis. Nurses could unite through social media. Functional foods, termed nutraceuticals, have proven health benefits in populations, an example being iodized salt. If nurses could be given a reference dataset on nutraceuticals to affect components of metabolic syndrome with patients in their care, it would certainly impact this double pandemic. Therefore, to search the literature, the question is asked, in obese humans, how do specified nutraceuticals of juicing compared to normal dietary habits affect biomarkers of metabolic syndrome within the 12-month time frame? To begin, an examination regarding the global availability of these fruits will help determine feasibility of the proposed initiative for nurses. Blueberries can be found in both the eastern and western hemispheres of the globe. Bilberries are mostly found in Russia, Scotland, Poland, Finland, Belarus, and Sweden. Cranberries are commercially grown throughout the northern hemisphere. Acea grows in the tropical regions of Central and South America. Blackberries are found throughout the northern hemisphere and as far south as Mexico. Mangosteen is found in tropical regions of Indonesia, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, Malagasy, Hawaii, Caribbean, and parts of Central America as well as Central Africa. Apples show a global market, making them the most obtainable fruit found in this review. Thus, nurses throughout the world should be able to find at least one of the discussed fruits in their local market. The results of 10 randomized controlled trials revealed the effects of the selected nutraceuticals on metabolic syndrome. Blueberries were proven to decrease blood pressure and oxidized LDL cholesterol as well as increase insulin sensitivity. Bilberries proved to exert anti-inflammatory effects in individuals with features of metabolic syndrome. Cranberries showed decreases in fasting plasma glucose, diastolic blood pressure, markers of inflammation, oxidative LDL cholesterol, and an increase in HDL cholesterol. Acea berries showed fasting glucose levels decreased significantly, as well as postprandial increases of glucose. Blackberries facilitated reduction of mean systolic blood pressure and values of inflammation, as well as changes of concentration in risk measurements for cardiovascular disease and abnormal lipid levels. Mangosteen reduced markers of inflammation. Apples reduced percentage of total body fat, visceral fat, and subcutaneous fat areas, while increasing lean body mass as well as decreasing total cholesterol and LDL cholesterol. The search literature revealed an array of measurable components. The comprehensive list shown here reflects measures utilized by the 10 randomized controlled trials presented upon. All of the studies used generalized units of measurement, which may have differed slightly according to individual study designs. The true heart of each study were the biochemical components reflected, some of which could be termed generalized, appearing in the majority of the studies, but some were unique and reflect the depth at which micronutrients of functional foods can be measured in regards to human health. Some studies used genetic components, which proved most interesting. No single study had all of these diagnostic components actively involved with a single functional food source. It may behoove mankind to explore what the natural world has to offer, thus finding funding to analyze each of the reference nutraceuticals at the full depth in which current health science can explore would be most impressive, perhaps even before their natural state becomes corrupted through genetically modified organisms. The ideas synthesized within this review answer the question, in obese humans, how do specified nutraceuticals of juicing compared to normal dietary habits affect biomarkers of metabolic syndrome within a 12-month time frame? This presentation projects the concept of using nutraceuticals as functional foods in order to combat the disease processes of metabolic syndrome and the global pediatric obesity crisis. Future reviews should explore literature to determine if certain nutraceuticals have a greater action potential for specific ethnic populations, or if the microbiota of individuals' GI tract play a role in limiting or expressing the micronutrients of specific nutraceuticals. The action potential of nurses using social media platforms to unite and advocate for global change is an inspiring goal as a nurse, and one in which today's society has brought about into reality through mobile social media. Thus, this global social media initiative for nurses could help global health in the long run. Thank you very much for listening.